I just want to say thank all the people that support my family in this, and I just want to tell them that when the Fed stepped in, it took a big relief off our family because we know justice is close to getting justice for my son.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all I can say.
That was Ahmaud Arbery's father, and joining us now, a very special guest, Marcus Arbery, Ahmaud's dad. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
How are you holding up?
I'm holding up good because I know I got to be strong for him because he was strong. The deal with his last moment of life, he had to be strong.
Absolutely. Were you inside the courtroom with the three men who've been charged?
Oh, definitely. Yes, yes, sir. I sure was.
What was that moment like for you to be in the same room with them?
It was my first time really seeing the three men close up that murdered my son, that left my son. That was a moment that I wouldn't want no dad to go through. They really just look at three men that led your youngest kid. That was a really hard thing for me because I always protected all three of my children. I protected them with my life. And at the time this happened, I was way out of town working. I was working in Perry, Florida. And I was not there to protect my boy, and that's why I quit my job when this happened to him to be close to my children. So when something like this go down again, I'm going to be there for him. Ain't no job or money or worth nothing in the world worth losing a child like that. So that's how I think.
How are you able to control your emotions? And it's I can't imagine what you've been through, but to be there and see them and understand what happened to Ahmaud, what do you tell yourself to control your emotions in those moments?
You know what? I just thank God for working on me because once upon a time, ain't no law or code or nothing couldn't hold me from doing what I needed to do. But I see God is working with me, and He told me to sit still, that He was going to fight my battles for me this time. Because, hey, I used to fight all the battles for my family. I'm just being honest with you in any means. So God told me to sit still this time, and He going to fight my battle for me this time. And that's what I'm doing. He's sure doing it, too.
Do you trust our system of justice?
I got more faith in the feds than the state because they've been doing African American people wrong for so long, and it's still going on with them. It's still looking at race. When they look at it and see that law is one law for everybody, and get all them bad apples out of there, then I start trusting them. Till now, I'm just being honest with you. I do not trust the state.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. Did you, and I know it's difficult, but have you seen the video? I mean, the world has seen the video, but sometimes I know family members don't necessarily want to watch that. Did you ever watch the video?
At it. Yes, sir. I looked at it because one thing about it, when a man don't look at another man killing his kid, that's a man's fear. That's how come I looked at it. I looked at it because ain't no fear in my blood. I looked at it and I want to see what they did to my kid. That's why I looked at it. And it's real devastating. But I urge his mama and my daughter and my son not to look at it. Because, see, to tell you the truth, I'm hard. I can look at stuff like that and I can be all right. But I really ain't all right because I want justice for him for that. Because I don't want, this town is too little for stuff like that. It ain't no place in this world for nothing like that. I'm telling you, I really thought I was looking at some racial movie or something. Where you make a movie like that, they'll hire a racial white man to jump on a pickup truck and go murder a black man or African American. That's what I really thought I was looking at. And I looked at, this really happened to my kid, my baby boy. I just couldn't really believe something like that or go on in this town like that. I just really couldn't believe it. I just thought I was in another world. I know racing was bad because I deal with it. And believe me, I handled it in any means. Don't force me to defend myself and my family because I'm going to do it in any means. And I ain't going to care about what happened behind the consequences. I'm going to deal with that. But what they did to my kid, uh-uh. I just can't never live with that.
Are you looking forward to the trial, to have, to see these men on trial and to have a jury judge them, or are you dreading that moment? Or are you looking forward to getting in court and having the prosecutors march forward with this case?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I know the feds. I know the feds. They do their job. They don't discriminate. But that state been going on, racist stuff been going on that so long. I have no faith in that because I'm gonna tell you the truth. If they'd have been doing their job from the jump, or outside wouldn't have had to come in and do their job. It just showed you how it was for them all these years. And it's a lot of stuff that came to light, and I hope people wake up and see that. See what was going on all these years and how they've been getting away with it, especially that county. That county been getting away with a lot of racist stuff to our people. And it ain't just ain't right, You just got to sit back and think how long they've been doing this. And Lord, it took my son to lose his life, to wake up and let the world see what they've been doing all these years. Getting our tax dollars and on that racial thing, you getting our tax dollars. You swear under the oath to serve and protect. And it took 72 days for them to get arrested when somebody was murdered. Murder. I'm telling you, they just tell you that system is messed up. Lord, it is messed up. And I hope people wake up, African American people definitely, because we suffer the most. Wake up. See what's going on, because if you got black children, it can happen to anybody, something like that. That racism, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Marcus, ultimately, there's going to be a jury that will make the final decision. What are your thoughts about a jury of 12 people from Glenn County, Georgia?
Lord, you know what? I just leave it in the hand of God. God gonna bring justice to my family, and each one of them jurors have some kids, and they see what happened to my kids. They wouldn't want nothing like that to happen to their kids if they got a heart. If they got a heart and they got God in their heart, they will do what they're supposed to do. Because it's been a long time coming for African American people. It's been a long time for us. That's how come they've been doing so much stuff to us. Because they think it's all right to murder our children and get away with it. They thought they were going to get away. That's why they did what they did. And the first person they called was Jackie Johnson when they did this to my kids. The most corrupt woman in the DA office. They called Jackie Johnson. Thought Jackie Johnson was going to cover up for us. But I tell you one thing, the devil never win no race. They'll make it look like they're going to win a race, but the devil never win no race. God always wins.
Marcus, we're almost out of time, but if you had an opportunity to speak to those three men who've been charged with the murder of Ahmaud, what would you want to tell them?
I asked them where was their heart at. And I asked the daddy. I asked him, did he care about his own kids? I bet he didn't. Because if you care about your own kid, you wouldn't tell him to grab a gun and go run behind another man's kid. Don't he know Ahmaud got a father? How about if somebody would have ran his kid down and shot his kid down like that? How he would have felt? Well, he a different man than I am. He ain't got no heart. He don't even care about his own family. Because if he cared about his family, he would have never led his son into nothing like that. But that race is so deep in him, he raised his son in that. And now guess what? You done ruined your son's life. You done ruined your son's life. You done ruined your wife's life. You done ruined your daughter's life. That just show you ain't even care about your own family. Man, that's deep to me. Because if you cared about your son, you wouldn't even let him into that. Come on. Now you talking about you're sick and all that. How you think my family feel? Tell me you're sick. How you think we lost our son? Your son's still living. Well, guess what? You got to collect from the devil now, though. You got to collect from the devil. You took my son like true enough, but Ahmaud resting now. But guess what? He ain't gonna be at the rest good till we get justice for him. Y'all got to live with that and suffer all your life because you ain't got no conscience. You ain't got no room for God to work with. The devil got you so bad, God ain't got no room to work with you with. That's why he turned you to the devil.
Marcus, we appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's not easy, but it's so important to hear your voice, to hear from the victims in the case.
Yes, sir.
And our best to you and your family.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We'll be right back.
Bye.